Hey friends, today we're doing a VR. Today I wanted to work on a video response for Simply Hands Embodied Tarot. And this was a hashtag that she put together where we look at the breakdown of the chakras in combination with decks and kind of do an assessment of where we are. We'll start with the first chakra, and that is root. I have. So I'll start with an affirmation. The affirmation that I love for the root chakra is I am safe and confident. I'll share here. This is a crystal that I love for grounding, which is why I chose it for the root chakra. And this is petrified wood. And petrified wood has that energy of teaching us patience, slow and steady growth, and showing us that we have to kind of trust in the flow of life. So when I'm working with grounding or with root chakra, I like to use the petrified wood. It's not the only one. There's tons of different stones that we could use for grounding. Any of your dark stones, like for example, here we have like black tourmaline. This is a piece of tumbled obsidian, and then I have onyx here, hematite. These are all great stones for grounding purposes as well. The other thing I wanted to share is that I also incorporate essential oils into these practices. So I'll share one of my favorites, cypress. This one is one that I like to use for grounding. And what I do with this is I like to put a drop on the bottoms of my feet. And cypress oil is associated with motion and flow. So it helps create flow. It's great if you are feeling stuck or stiff or tense in any kind of way. It's a great oil for that. And by the way, as I go through all of the different stones and oils, I wanted to share where I usually get my information on my crystals is this book right here. This is an awesome book. It's a great reference tool. I refer back to this time and time again. It has tons of information on practically every crystal. It'll give you keywords, the element that's associated, which chakras it works with. And then it has two different points of view. So you have your first one here, the second one. And then I like the second one that is by Naisha Asian. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but I love it because she adds emotional, physical, and spiritual ways to work with the energy, and also gives an affirmation for each of the stones. So this is an awesome book, and that's what I have used in order to put this information together for you today. The other thing that I wanted to share, this is for my essential oils. I wouldn't say that I only use doTERRA, but it is the one that I have most handy. And I use this app right here. It's like an ebook, And basically what I can do with this book is it's actually pretty awesome. Like, you can work with a specific emotion, you can look it up by the oil, or you can look it up by the part of the body that you are having troubles with, or you are looking to do some deeper work with. So for example, I'm gonna say Cypress, so I can just click down here to Cypress, open it up, and it tells me about the oil, how it can best be used. It gives me the suggested uses, and then it talks to me about the negative emotions, positive properties, and any companion oils that would work nicely with it. So that's where I'm getting the information for today. Just wanted to share that for reference. So with the root chakra, a lot of times, it's the chakras in general, there could be times where your chakras are blocked, right? And so it's difficult for your energy to run up and down through the chakras. But something that I kind of learned was that for each of the chakras, you can sometimes have excessive characteristics or deficient characteristics. So for example, for the root chakra, an example of an excessive characteristic might be hoarding, overeating, materialism, workaholic, those type of things. And then if you are deficient in the root chakra, then that would be a feeling of being disconnected, possibly underweight, restlessness, fixation, fear, anxiety. So those are some of the things that could stem from the root chakra. So when I'm working with the root, one of the decks that I feel is awesome for me to help me ground is gonna be the tarot of the strange branches. And this deck, I just find that it helps me connect to my body, to my root right away. It's very special, and it speaks to me in a way that my other decks do not. And maybe it could be all of the tree energy that is in this deck. There are a lot of branches that are, coming out from the different figures, heads, and actually from all over. So you can see a lot of growth, a lot of rooting, a lot of, laying, actually grounding, like physically grounding in the soil. So it's just an awesome deck for that. So let me go ahead and give this a shuffle, and I will pull a card. Four of Pentacles. Let's move on to the sacral chakra, and that is I feel. The stone that I use for this chakra is right here, Shiva Lingam. And this is a stone that is connected to vitality and prana. It's very much tied to sexuality and fertility. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful stone. So I'll set that aside. And the oil that I like to use for the sacral chakra is wild orange. And this oil is tied to abundance. It's great for promoting creativity, positive mood. And what I like to do is, put a drop in my belly button, and I find that from there, it just does what it needs to do. It's pretty awesome. Now, the deck that I find helps me connect to this energy of a feeling is my Reclaim. Oracle. And, you know, this deck, I've talked about this before. It's quite special, and I don't read with this deck as often as I would like, because I have a special use for this deck. And what I like to do is go through it, look at the images, find the ones that help me kind of pinpoint, put a name to the feeling or to the emotion, and then take the card or cards, because sometimes there's multiple cards, and then I journal on them. But it's such an awesome deck. It does read well, I find. You know, maybe a little bit difficult for pairing, but awesome to help you connect. So let me grab the deck and give it a shuffle. Loneliness. Loneliness. I love this card. You can see the figure is not necessarily alone. They just feel disconnected from the people around them. It's just such a great card and a great deck to work with. So I'm gonna set this aside here. And by the way, I did not mention the affirmation that I like for the sacral, and it is, I am creative and full of joy. One more thing, there's so much information. I just want to make sure that I share everything in case this is something that interests you. But earlier we spoke on what it looks like when you have excessive or deficient characteristics in the sacral chakra. So I just wanted to share a few before we move on to the next one. So with the sacral chakra, when there's excessive energy there, that could look like obsessive attachments, sexual addictions, oversensitivity, mood swings possibly. And then when there's deficiencies, that can manifest through rigid behavior, fear of sexuality, fear of change, lack of passion, boredom. So those are some of the energies that will kind of help you see whether or not you could potentially have an imbalance or a need to clear out the chakra in order to allow for flow. Let's move on to the solar plexus. And this one's I statement is I can or I do. And the affirmation for this one is I am strong and completely capable. I love that. So with the solar plexus, excessive characteristics that you might find would be perhaps dominating, controlling, maybe arrogant or competitive. And then deficiencies would look like lacking confidence, poor digestion, feeling like you're disliked, lack of energy, jealousy. So those are some of the energies that might indicate that, we need to take a closer look at the solar plexus. The stone that I like to use is golden healer. And by the way, I have to mention a lot of these stones, they're not just one specific to this one, there's multiple choices for each of the chakras and multiple stones that you could use. So really you can use what most resonates for you. But here I pulled this one. This is golden healer. And this is a stone that really helps to bring in joy. So I'm going to set it here. And then the oil that I chose was lemongrass. And I chose this because this particular, I don't know, when I smell lemongrass, like it just touches me in a way that no other scent in the world of essential oils touches me. It's just truly special. Lemongrass is associated with cleansing, It helps to dispel feelings of despair, despondency. So it's really, really awesome for this chakra. I should have brought a little stand for this guy. Alrighty. Now, a deck that I feel helps me connect to this energy, the Mermaid Tarot. I find this, this is obviously a deck that, because it's mermaids, there's a lot of water energy, but in this deck, I feel like the fire suit was so well done, and that's what made me think about this deck, and the reason that I wanted to pull it out for this exercise. Like, I love that. 9 of Wands, and the idea that instead of water, we're seeing like the lava flow. So good. The way that they've done this deck is pretty special, and I'm actually looking forward to working with it this summer. So yeah, this is the one that I would choose. So I'll go ahead and give it a shuffle and pull a card. Six of Pentacles. You know, what a lovely card. What a lovely card to pull for this chakra. I'm going to set that aside. We can move on to the heart chakra. So this is the I statement for this chakra is I love. The heart chakra, I find, is very, very special. It is almost right there, center. And it's a very special, what I call a very special chakra, because the energy of the heart is just so important to each of us that that one is probably one of the ones that really you always want to focus on and make sure that it's clear in order to allow that energy. Because if that heart chakra is blocked, it makes it hard for your energy to run up and down the way that it should. So heart chakra, I love. The affirmation that I use for this chakra is I am loved. And this won't be a surprise. The stone that I'm using is pink quartz. Now, a lot of times we use a green stone. A lot of people like to use a green stone. Like, for example, here I have a piece of green aventurine. But I find myself more energetically connected to the rose quartz. And I'm very, very bonded to this particular piece, and I just love it. So the rose quartz, of course, invites love, gentleness, and emotional healing. So I'm going to put that right there. And the oil that I use for the heart is going to be Lang Lang. And this oil, really, it's awesome. If you need to do inner child work, this is it. This is your oil. But it's very powerful for the heart and for releasing emotional trauma. So I'm going to put that one aside. The deck that I chose for this chakra is the Kai Tarot Love, for obvious reasons. It has the word love in the title. No, I do find this to be a very loving and soothing deck. And so I'll just go through. This is really beautiful watercolor art. And I have a very special connection to this deck, and I feel like it's perfect for the heart chakra. Look at that 4 of Cups card. So awesome. So yeah, anyways, let me see. We'll give this a shuffle and pull a card. You know, while I'm shuffling, I'll talk a little bit about the characteristics. So if you have imbalances with the heart chakra, if they are excessive, you'll find that you're apt to focus excessively on other people. It's difficult for you to create boundaries. You become more of a people pleaser, or even, you know, to the extent of being the martyr, right? So those are some characteristics that show that you have excessive energy in that space. Now, deficient would be lack of empathy, fear of intimacy, maybe antisocial, critical, lonely. So those are some of the characteristics that you may find that indicate that you would benefit from some heart chakra work. And you know, different people use different modalities. You know, today I'm showing you, you know, stones. I'm showing you decks. I'm showing you essential oils. But I'm a super huge fan of sounds healing for chakras. I've done some acupuncture work as well as Reiki, which I really love Reiki. So this is not by any means the end all be all. There's so many different ways to go about doing this work. You just have to kind of find what resonates, you know, the most with you. All right. Ooh, Empress. Oh, and I just love this particular Empress. So beautiful. All right, I'll set that there. Next, we'll talk about the throat chakra. The I statement would be I speak or I express. And my personal affirmation that I love for this particular chakra is I speak my truth. I just, you know, here's a little side, a little side note. This is a chakra that I have worked really hard over time to clear and unblock. So this one is really, really special to me. I speak my truth. Now, the stone that I am pulling out for today is my labradorite. This one has a really beautiful flash, and hopefully the camera will pick it up. But really, really beautiful. Certainly not the only stone that you could use. You know, labradorite is just one of those amazing stones that works for pretty much every single chakra, and it's just super, super amazing. I chose it because for me, I find that it helps me connect to my magic. But one of the stones that I also find works really, really well is blue kyanite. This for me works amazing. And so I always have blue kyanite handy, and a few others too. Sometimes I have like sodalite. That one is pretty good as well. But for today, I decided I was gonna go with this one. So let me see. I'm running out of space. I'm running out of space. Let me see if I could do this so I can at least, you know, kind of keep them in some kind of order. All right. Now, the oil that I chose for this was lavender. Lavender is just one of those oils that's just amazing for so many things. This is the oil of communication and calm, right? This is why you see this in so many beverages. I love to diffuse this during the day when I'm working. Putting a couple of drops on your pillowcase at night before bed is very helpful for sleep. It's just awesome. But I find that it really helps with verbal expression. And what I like to do is just take a drop and just rub it right there on my throat. And I really enjoy that one. So I pulled that out. Now with the throat chakra, if we have imbalances, that's going to show up in a few different ways, right? So if it's excessive, you'll find maybe a difficulty being silent, talking inappropriately, excessive loudness, maybe talking too much, gossiping. Those are some of the characteristics that show an excess. And then deficient would be maybe, you know, the opposite, right? Fear of speaking, difficulty speaking, speaking weakly, excessive shyness, secretiveness. So those are all different characteristics that could indicate that there's some work to be done, right? This is not anything that's like, oh no, you know, terrible diagnosis. No, this is just awareness. It helps us to kind of see where our areas are and what we need to work on. And with the chakras, you know, it's important to note that, you know, different chakras can get blocked at different times. And so, you know, it's just important to have awareness, you know, to always be tuned in to your your body and really listen to what it's trying to say. So the deck that I chose for this is going to be the Hero's Journey. I find that this deck helps me find my voice. It's a gorgeous deck, really. I got this deck because I was just in love with Rasuli artwork and I needed to have something. And then I got this deck and I found that working with it was just amazing. I love the sentiment at the bottom of the card and the additional blurb, but then the guidebook is something super special. It really does help me connect to my voice in a very special way. So yeah. And then, you know, I think also because because of the blue backs on this, I was kind of swayed towards the voice. So I'll give it a shuffle and pull out a card. The Return. Own your mastery. Well, I love this card. I love the image and the way that the image is kind of floating towards that light. Almost even in a way, this card, this little tunnel area here kind of reminds me of what the throat might possibly look like from the inside. So I'm looking forward to sitting with that card and sitting with the energy of the card as I assess the state of my own chakras for this exercise. Which this is great. I'm really glad that Hannah did this tag because it's a great reminder always to kind of check in with where we are and, you know, do whatever we need to help us move energy and to kind of course correct, right? So let's move on to the third eye. And the I statement for that is I see. And my personal affirmation for this chakra is I can solve any problem. Oh, so good. I love it. All right. So third eye. What is the indicator that there could be some work to be done? Well, excessive characteristics, maybe difficulty concentrating, excessive fantasizing, hallucinations or nightmares or even obsessions, characteristics that there's a deficiency. Maybe you can't see alternatives or excessive skepticism, lack of imagination, or difficulty visualizing things. Those are all kind of indicators that there's an imbalance. So for this chakra, this is not a surprise. This is gonna be amethyst, and I chose this chevron amethyst. And I think because I just realized that I don't own a palm stone of amethyst. And I was kind of surprised because I love palm stones, but I did not have one. So I chose this one. I think almost all of my amethyst is either tumbled or, raw like this, which is so, so cool. I just love amethyst. It's so great. It's perfect for this chakra. It really helps to connect you to your guides and angels. So I'll go ahead and set that there. And then the oil that I selected is rosemary, right? So if any of you are kitchen witches, you know this is such a great herb. I recently did a simmer pot and I included some rosemary. You know, this is the herb of knowledge and transition, and it really helps you to look deeper and ask soul searching questions. And really, it's as simple as taking a little drop and kind of rubbing it there where your third eye would be, and just sitting with that energy. It's so good. And this is another one that's good for multiple different chakras, but I just kind of selected it for this particular chakra because of its so many uses. Now, the deck that I chose for this is going to be my soul deck. This is my Tarot of Mystical Moments, and I love this deck. This is a deck that helps me see things in a way that I wouldn't be able to any other way. I don't even know how to describe it or articulate to you. I just feel like when I use this deck, it allows me to connect to my intuition and to my third eye in a way that other decks do not, because it allows my mind to wander without restricting me to the boundaries of what's normal and not normal in everyday life. So I am gonna shuffle the deck and pull a card for third eye. Five of Cups. I've always loved this image and the way that it's portrayed, and the fact that she's actually in the water. So beautiful. All right, so I'm gonna set that aside. And now we've come to the crown chakra. The I statement is I know or I connect. And for me, my affirmation is I am connected. I love that idea of being connected to cosmic energy. So good. So let's see. The crystal that I chose is clear quartz. I mean, it's just perfect. It's just perfect for this chakra. I mean, we could do amethyst too, right? But I decided to go with clear quartz. This is another one that I don't have a palm stone for. I have clear quartz in so many different, I have it raw, I have it tumbled. I have this piece is just awesome. I adore this, and there's so many beautiful little flashes inside. But yeah, I have it in so many different ways. I just don't have a palm stone. But yeah, this is the stone of clearing. This is a stone that helps you cleanse, perfect for amplification and also for memory enhancement. So I'm gonna set it here. Has such a beautiful shine. And then the essential oil that I chose is tea tree. And this is one that gets a lot of use. It's hard to tell on camera, but like I'm down to the bottom of this bottle because it's good for so many different things. It's just awesome, but I really like to take a couple of drops and put it on the crown of my head and just rub it in. Oh, so good. So I had a hard time actually looking this up in the app because I kept looking for Melaleuca. It's not in there as that. It's in there as tea tree. But the label is Melaleuca, however you say that. Sorry. But yeah, this is the oil for energetic boundaries. And it helps to clear negative baggage that we might have. So I'm gonna set it right there. For this chakra, imbalances. So if we have excessive characteristics, that's gonna show up in the form of perhaps dissociation from body, spiritual addiction, maybe excessive attachments, confusion. And then if we're deficient, then that could be rigid belief systems or spiritual cynicism, learning difficulties, being closed-minded, apathy. So that's how that shows up for you. Now, the deck that I chose for this chakra is going to be my Shimmering Veil Tarot. I feel like no other deck that I have helps me to connect to crown chakra energy like this one does. And it's quite possibly because of the artwork, the style of the artwork. It seems more like energy moving and shifting than anything else, and it's just an incredible deck. It's one that I use for deeply spiritual questions, and it's amazing. It's amazing. So let me give it a shuffle and we can pull a card for the crown. Ooh. Look at that. We have drawn the Emperor. How fascinating is that? That is my zodiac card. Oh, I love it. And I love this little light in the center. So I'm gonna put that aside here. Now let me see if I can get these on camera somehow. somehow. There. I mean, that kind of works, right? So now what I will be doing next, and you know, since this is a bit of a personal exercise, then likely this is something that I will do off camera. But what I'll do is take each of the cards, sit with them, sit with the energy of the chakra, do some journaling and some reflection, and then capture overall thoughts. So that is what I'll be doing after this video. But I'm very much looking forward to this exercise and seeing if there are any aha moments for me. Thank you so much, Hannah, for this lovely tag. It's always a pleasure to work on the tags that you put together. I feel like you put a lot of heart and soul into your channel, and it really shows. And I really wanted to support by doing a video response. And I did go a little bit, you know, in a different direction with this one, but you know, chakra work is so important for me, and anytime that we have the opportunity to combine crystal work or essential oils, or any other thing, then I'm super excited. So thank you so much. Thank you for everyone for watching. I hope you found this helpful, and let me know. Do you also work with essential oils? Do you incorporate crystals into your work, or affirmations, I statements? You know, those aren't for everybody, but you know, I'm curious. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. Thanks so much. Bye.